room. You will be the witch and you'll be the broom. We'll ride 'em, guide 'em straight to the concrete. I'll slide 'em to a fucking beat. Yo, steady, this track, grand speed is position.
Wait a whole hour.
Come on, man. I could have wrote that in 5 seconds. Oh, I called Button up. Smack had to cuff you. He had about 2 more of those things where he just took what he was doing and rhymed it with something which made sense or not. And then he goes and he puts the robe back on. Why did you do all that just to put the robe back on?
Well, it was.
He wanted to address you like a man. That was the haymaker after 7 minutes of him dressing. I want to address you like a man because I'm dressed like a man. Right after that bar, puts the fucking robe back on. All right? So everything you just said is negated. All right? You're not dressing. You look like a goof now. If you do this, you're wearing your robe, a cognac robe. What does that even mean? All right? Over your suit. Now, and Red was snapping in the first. He at the round of the battle in the second, and the third was okay. And I gave John the third. So
The whole scheme, it was slow. It was. It took, like, I can't believe like he was without pants for that long.
He's wearing boxers, bro. He's wearing boxers.
Right. And
you didn't notice it until he put his pants on, because then they took a shot.
Yeah.
And then you realized he was standing there naked.
Yeah, for a good portion, because he took his time for each part of this scheme.
Smack was loving it. Did you see Smack? He was losing his mind.
Who?
Every time he brought up one of the items and said it, Smack was one like, woo, 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 woo. He would jump up and down like, you know how Smack gets. All right, and then he would hit the other guy. Did you just see what he said? All right, Smack ate that up all day long. He loved it. He loved it.
Yeah, you could tell he was having a good time.
Yeah. And when Danny was rapping, Smack didn't even care. All right.
Well, it was the first battle.
Yeah.
And
I guess.
I'm not sure if Danny going second actually helped him to. I think if he had just set it off.
Yeah, I mean,
because Trez set the tone. Because it was like the first battle, Smack just announced the event and started off, and then Chef starts it off on the top of the first, and he sets the energy from there on out, and then you have to deal with Danny's like burst energy, like it's I don't know. I think he should have just started out like that burst energy right off the bat to get that momentum, top of the first, going ahead.
So you think he should have second round first?
No, I thought Danny should have won first.
Oh, well, I don't know if you want to coin toss, but his second round was crazy, bro. Danny's second round, that was crazy. Now the other first round and the third round, I mean, I guess you can debate it. I don't know, but I thought second it was clear. The other two are debatable. Trez was good, but I think the reason why I gave Danny the third round is I think Chef Trez, he was in just laid back, didn't freestyle and just way too calm mode. Like I've seen Chef Trez. I know he has that demeanor about him, but he was extra calm, like almost whispering at a point. And
the third,
in the third. So I don't know, man. It was what it was. But.
Yeah, like I almost felt like he was just trying to diffuse Danny at first, because Danny was.
Yeah.
Because I think his first bar in the third was like, you scream so damn much, like, or something like that, like.
Yeah.
And he said it in such a calm, like, voice that it was just like a complete opposite from what you just finished hearing from Danny.
Yep.
And, which made that like hit, and then he stays soft like that throughout the whole like bottom of the third there, or top of the third.
Yep.
And that's why I kind of can't give that round to Trez, because it just didn't have energy behind it.
Yeah, I gave it to one Danny. So. Um, Suge and Clip.
What was that, a curveball, huh?
Yeah, now
I told you Clips was gonna come and play, man.
right, and he did. And I want to know why it took till Charlie Clip for this angle to happen. I've been screaming this angle since I started blogging about twerk, and it took till Charlie Clip. This is why I wasn't impressed with what Verb did against twerk. Everyone loved it. Whatever, bro. Like I can't watch that battle again. All right, I can't hear Verb go Okinawa, Wukuwawa. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. All right, Cliff broke down twerk perfectly. It should have done it in the first round, and it would have stuck the whole battle like Hollow did to him in the first round, and that's what stuck in the rest of the battle. But whatever, he did it in the second round.
Nah, you know what? That first from Twerk was unbeatable. You can't beat that first from Twerk. So he would have just.
But would it have been that magical if we heard Charlie's second first?
Yes, it would have. I don't think it would have made a difference.
Okay, well, yeah. I mean,
So
the first was.
He would have wasted
first,
that.
And what I want to know is, how does the same person who writes the first round for twerk write that third round for twerk? And we're all glossing the fact that he only rapped a minute 30 in that third and then quit again. So that's a quit to me. If you don't even get to 2 minutes, that's because you know it's a minimum of 2 minutes. A minimum, if not 2.5. He rapped for a minute and a half and then jerseyed out. And the common twerk tell, he did the entire third round. It's repeating the same bar because we know he's about to choke. He didn't do that the entire first 2 rounds. And that third round, and right off the bat, his first line he had to repeat twice. Third line he had to repeat twice because he was starting to choke. And how does that same person write those 2 rounds? I don't know. And then of course, battle over. Twerk's caught on camera saying, "Man, I need to prepare better." What the fuck are you doing? Prepare better. This is a joke. If this is just a joke to you, you don't really care. All right, that's cool. But you need to prepare better? Like, okay. Stop bragging about how you write your rhymes the day before me. Maybe that's a start.
Like, what the fuck you think we're here for?
But it's not even, if this was your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh time, all right. But this is like the 10th time, bro. This is a constant theme with you. Every single battle. Verb, you choked. Then you had a great 1 round. This one you choked, you had a great 1 round. All right, well, you must have been prepared for Suge. But to me, Shotgun Suge and Twerk was good, but it just was a bunch of yelling up there. Y'all was screaming like crazy, both of you. And I struggle to get through that battle a second and third time. Because I just don't like being yelled at all the time. Like, calm down a little bit. All right? Especially when you got 2 guys yelling at each other the whole time. And, then you got the DNA. Whatever. We know what Twerk does. We know what Twerk does. And I'm done. I'm not done. I'm disappointed because he shows greatness and then shows garbage in the same battle too often.
Yeah. Yeah. If he can deliver like 3 of them things, like the first round, like he'd be unstoppable.
And it don't even be like I said in the blog. If that first round's a 10, you have to follow it up with at least an 8, 7, 8. Not with his second round might have been a 6.5, and then his third was garbage, bro. It's not even rateable.
He was shot after the first.
His first was at least 4 minutes, and your third was a minute and a half. So, what? Whatever.
He had nothing in the tank after that first round.
Yeah, it's like he did a strapped in the first. Remember that? And that was a great strapped in. He finally had a good one. It's been a minute because he's had a lot of misses on that strapped in. But the whole you can't say I got light out of the casket.
Yeah.
I like that, bro. I like that. It was simple, but it related to Clip, and I don't know. And the way he obviously delivered it. Now you could take that whole round like that and say He wasn't really saying shit, but man, he sure got it to hit. He knows how to get it to hit. Like, what was he really saying in that round? You know, man, he takes a certain word, and then he adds bow to it, and then he, like every kid speaking his good kid. Oh, wow, yes it is, no it is, or whatever he said. Like that. Yeah, that's hilarious. That's exactly what he does. Exactly what he does, and it's so simplistic to me, and that's why I'm not the biggest fan of him. But I can respect his energy, but I think he's overrated as far as writing goes. He's really highly rated in the battle rap community for his pen, like very highly rated. And I've been saying this from day one. A lot of it's simplistic, but whatever. I could be bugging.
I know we're harping on Twerk, but Clips, man, this was an incredible Clips.
Yes.
Look, like I'm not surprised because if he's in his like wilding out bag right now, that means he's working. He's actively being creative day in and day out, and that puts you once your body starts to go, like you can go, and then taking on like the battles like with the ridicule and everything, he can easily turn up, and like he's already in that creative space anyways, like day in and day out. So once he started going, man, like I knew Clips was gonna turn up. I knew it. Clips asked for that.
They're similar in a way where they can produce epic moments and rounds, and then they can produce trash. Kind of like a mirror match in a sense like that, where they both have that. Clips has, obviously more body of work. At this point, I don't even know. I feel like Twerk, he battles every month, bro. He has a battle every month on the big stage, and then he takes all these other little.
He was double booked the day after.
Yeah, he booked. He's supposed to battle Chicken Bob, canceled that. Supposed to battle this other guy, canceled that. Supposed to battle Don Marino, canceled that. Supposed to battle Don Marino on the re-up, canceled the re-up. So just waste a lot of people's time and effort. I feel bad for the battlers who prepare for Twerk, even in the small league, because it's just a joke at this point. Like it's a running joke, and I don't see any like, what do you call it? Like I don't see Twerk and them feeling bad about it. I think they look at it like it's funny, and that really pisses me off because I hate people like that waste people's time because they're at a certain level that it's just whatever, deal with it. It's they laugh at it, they'll talk shit about who the fuck is Don Marino. Who cares? Well, you took the battle. You probably stole the deposit money, didn't return it because you laugh about that.
No doubt.
Yeah. So, all this bad karma, I think, has already caught up to him in the form of choking on URL. All that bad karma, Twerk, that you put out there in this little league is the reason why you can't remember your rounds. All right? Don't think it isn't. Goes around, comes around. You treated people better and respected other leagues and didn't steal their money, maybe you'd remember your round. Maybe it doesn't even have anything to do with preparation. All right? It's just bad karma. That's how it works. So deal with it. But anyways, I don't want to make this a Twerk statue session. He did great. He did great in one round. But guess what? Consensus has he lost. Polls have him losing like 90 to 10. All right? And did you take the URL poll online?
I don't think
not the Twitter one, the real one.
No, I didn't.
Pretty cool. So I took it. They had a link. It takes you to a polling graph situation where they ask you, all right, they'll ask you what round. No, they'll ask you who won. 3-0, 1-2-1, but there's options. There's 3-0 clear, and then there's 3-0. 3-0 just means it's not a body. 3-0 clear means, pretty much body. Then there's 2-1, both were good. 2-1 clear, situations like that. And then they ask you what rounds each battler won, and then they ask you who should they battle next. So you got to go through the entire card. You fill that out, submit it. And then they ask you 1 through 10, rate the battle, and then rate the performer 1 through 10. So there's also that on each performer 1 through 10. So I don't know. I liked it. I'd love to see the results. They said they'll email the final results to me. Anybody can do it. So, but this is what I don't like when people talk about the polls. I feel like when I see the polls, they're usually right. Not always, but they're usually right. And I'm telling you right now, if Twerk would have really beat Cliff, like for real, and everyone knew that, the polls would be 90 to 10 Twerk. But instead, they're 90 to 10 Cliff, and it's not because of popularity. That's what it always says. How is Twerk not popular? Cliff is popular, but not in the not as far as people are just going to vote for him. If that was the case, Vijuel, that popularity is the only reason why people win polls, then why is it that the polls aren't exactly the same when they ask them who's going to win the battle before the battle happens? If it's based on popularity, then the poll should have had Cliff 90 to 10 going into the battle. But they didn't, did they? No. So don't give me this popularity shit. The polls actually, I think, usually get it right.
Yeah. Not always, but I mean, it's you can't argue with consensus. It's like, well, that's what it is.
In what world would Twerk really won a battle and the polls would have him losing 90 to 10? In what world is that? This will never happen. What battle has he ever won where the polls were like 90 to 10 Twerk lost? That's not a thing. So you got to keep looking at all these things and the factors and how it all keeps playing out, the data. You got to analyze it and realize, man, this is it kind of gives you a good clue on what's happening. Now, I did disagree. The polls have Geechee winning, right? Don't the polls have Geechee beating Arsenal?
I haven't seen the polls.
I think it's so, but it's like a 50, 55, 45 deal. Which, all right, it makes sense because you had Geechee winning, I have Arsenal winning. I thought it was pretty clear Arsenal won.
And,
but
close, bro.
I don't know. I just I watched it twice, 3 times, I think. Geechee, I just didn't. I didn't get that same. Maybe it's because I hold Geechee to such a high standard. And another problem is Geechee battles every month now too. Every month he's on every card. So we're seeing him too much. And he's got to be running out of material. Like there's so much. Like battle rap wasn't meant to be a monthly thing. Like this shouldn't like battlers shouldn't battle every month, man. This is getting out of hand. One of these Twerk or Geechee's on this band card too. I have a feeling that one of them are on this band card. There's gonna be a few of these guys who are on S.m.a.c.k Volume 4 that's on this band card. That's 2 battles in 2 weeks. All right, it's getting a little ridiculous, and I think it's watering down because to me, Geechee, he's like and Twerk, they're like specialties. Like you want to see them, they're great, but you don't want to because you don't want to see them too often. I don't think you want to see anybody too often. Like I think URL is doing the battle a disservice by booking them so much. So I don't know. Not a lot. Especially you got to be a special talent as well to write like this. Consistently memorize it and perform it at the top level, which URL is. That's asking a lot. While all these other battlers can't get a shot to save their life. You could have threw in a Jack Boy or a Rod or just somebody from the mid tiers in at S.m.a.c.k Volume 4, but instead it was the same group of people that we just seen at S.m.a.c.k Volume 3. Same group. Shook, Rum, Twerk, Geechee. They were all on S.m.a.c.k Volume 3. Sorry for rambling. Where's Jay Legend? Thought he was available.
I ain't mad at nothing in this whole event, really.
Fire event. I know. I loved that. I ranked it very high. I thought it was one of the best S.m.a.c.k volumes. If it was last year, it would have been one of the best events last year. I called this. Let me see what you think. It was the event of fire round. All right. You got Twerk's first, Cliff second. I thought Red second was phenomenal. Rum Nitty's first. Rum Nitty Shug, bro. Rum Nitty Shug. And then I thought D-Top was fire all 3 rounds, to be fair. I thought Clean had a good first round. And then, Danny second. So I thought it was fire rounds, no battle was like maybe, I don't know, but I want to say no battle, but was this all around fire, but there were so many fire rounds in each battle.
I like Clean's performance, man. I know he ended up looking a little intimidated up there, but I thought he did his thing.
He did good in the first for sure, and I think he started going a little bit down after that. And I just thought if T-Top, man, was, on that Rum Nitty type of level, because I thought Rum Nitty was solid all 3 rounds as well. And like T-Top, I thought, that third round was just overkill to me. And yeah, I don't know why Clean's taking this loss that hard. I wouldn't say he got destroyed. I thought he did pretty good, and he's on interviews saying I can't hang with these guys anymore, and I'm talking about retiring. So I think he's kind of taking this loss kind of really too hard. I don't get it.
Yeah, it was a weird interview, man. Like a little sad and like mopey and.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe that T-Top just being in front of him made him rethink life. I don't know why.
It was a good.
You weren't impressed. You don't seem like you're impressed with T-Top that much.
Me,
got a vibe. You were. You did. You were.
Yeah,
all right.
Hell yeah, it was a good T-Top. And I told you, man, he had these 8-bar setups, but they take a while to get to the punch. But once it gets there, it fucking hits. And
yeah, that's a fact.
Like most of the time. And then he continues it like with the, like jabs, like with more like single punchlines right after that.
Yeah. Rum Nitty Shook, man. What do you think about that battle?
Well, got a lot better of a Shook than we expected, probably, right? Lyrically.
I thought Shook brought his bars up, man. Like I felt like Shook went into this battle thinking, all right, I'm gonna outbar Rum Nitty. All right, I'm gonna have to match Rum Nitty's level. And if he was battling a different opponent, I think he would have won a lot. He would have won to beat a lot of people. Because I have not seen a Shook like this. Like he was pretty consistent. Now I know he had a few stumbles here and there. I hate. His face is so telling. Suge's face is telling when he's about to like forget something. He does this little thing in his face where it's like, oh, don't do it. And then the first he almost did it, but then he got it. And then I think he cut his third round short.
Yeah.
Not as short as Twerk did, but he did. And I couldn't give any round to Suge, but I wasn't mad at all at Suge's first and second, like at all. I thought he beat other people. I just thought the reason why I love Rum Nitty, let me see if you agree. I always feel like he's about to take me somewhere, and I feel a lot of rappers are predictable. When you hear some, it's like the whole Charlie Clips effect. Even as Sharon does this a lot, where you know where he's gonna go with the punchline's about to be. So when he's into that whole Suge situation, I'm like, all right, here we go with another Suge, Tupac, Death Row thing, right? And then he goes and he says, Suge's the source of the problem. Now, if you don't the reason why I appreciate that is there's so many different meanings, layers on that. Because Suge, in the Twerk battle, Suge he dunked on him and he was there and he's cheering, he was the source of that problem. Suge Knight would go on Source magazine and cause the whole West Coast, East Coast beef. That's what he was referring to. The source of the problem was the Source magazine, Suge Knight, constantly on the Source magazine, sparking the East Coast, West Coast beef. All right, and then the whole, if I didn't learn, because I thought he was gonna give me a different, a predictable punchline, and he always seems to be, he always throws me off on it. And I think that's why I appreciate him more. Suge and go ahead.
In retrospect, I think it's kind of like obvious, like Nitty's gonna flip his name and somehow bring up Suge Knight.
But I didn't know. I didn't think he was gonna do it the way he did it.
No, you can't expect what it is, but you could, you wait to see if it's fire or if it's another Suge line that you heard a million times. But
yeah, but it's always creative and And then what Pac taught me was Suge don't ride shotgun, don't take shotgun side. No one's ever put it like that way. And Pac and Biggie both rode shotgun and got killed. So fire. And I feel like that first round, and this is why I take like 10 points off of Suge. So Geechee Gotti dunks on you. Then you get revenge by dunking on Danny Myers, all right? Who's standing right next to Geechee Gotti? Why? Why would you go?
in all fairness, the image is not captured like Danny's face. You could just see what he's wearing. It was so
But it
far,
was Danny.
it was so far over on the edge of the camera.
Do you think Shook thought it was Gigi?
Well, nobody really saw, like, you couldn't see because that was like the edge of the camera, so you don't know like who.
Yeah, but you saw Gigi. You could see Gigi not just standing next to him. Because Gigi was standing next to him. I rewinded it because I was like, I didn't know it was Danny at first either. So I'm like,
Right.
just don't stop.
I wanted to see who it was. That's why I rewinded it too and saw like what he was wearing. I'm like, well, that's what Danny was wearing, so that must be Danny, you know. But you don't, you can't see who's lined up right next to him.
But when Gigi's up top here. So, but when Danny comes back and you can see it's Danny when he comes back after getting bunched and he starts talking shit, you know. And they glanced at it for a quick second. You see Danny talking shit to him. Like he looked like Danny was upset. It really did. And I don't know. You could dunk on Danny. Gigi's right there. Whatever. That's cool. Good rebuttal. It's a good rebuttal. But Gigi and Sugar already battled, so it's like Sugar and Danny. All right. Danny wants Briz Rossi.
You know, he had with all of them.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I don't know, man. This car was fire, man. I liked it a lot, and I don't think any battle was a letdown. Like I think they all, you know, gave us what we needed, and that's what's up, man. And I hope that. Well, I mean, got any more thoughts on this, or we can transition to Rare Breed?
No duds. They were all good battles, and the environment, the atmosphere. The flow of the pay-per-view was pretty quick for the most part, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. That's another thing. Their battles were right after each other. There wasn't that much of a break. We only had to watch the Geechee Gotti video like 3 times instead of 7. You know, between
in between we had some Arsenal tracks. Those Arsenal tracks.
Yeah. We had some Arsenal tracks. Arsenal was definitely there, and you know, it was definitely a faster moving event. I think URL's getting more adjusted to the volume settings, and you know, you got to remember the first time they did it was the first time they did it. You know, and then the second time they did it was the second time they did it. And you know, so they're learning as far as putting it together. The volume should definitely be the easiest thing to put together because you're not dealing with a crowd, you're not dealing with anything else. You're just dealing with the battlers. So as long as you get all the battlers there, you know, and at a specific time, then it all should go real smooth. Because there should be no reason if all the battlers are there, then when one battle ends, it should just transition to the next. You know, and just keep it moving. And I think that they're figuring out how to manage that better. You know, so you know, good for them. You can see improvements after each. As far as the setting goes, I'm still a fan of that S.m.a.c.k Volume 1 setting, and you know, I think they went away from that. I did not like S.m.a.c.k Volume 2 at all. I think that was just a plain black background, and it looked like they were in like a hall or something, or it just looked weird. And
it looked empty.
Yeah, but the third and the fourth one weren't bad. I didn't mind, especially this one. I didn't mind this one at all. But I still like that background graffiti look. But maybe they can, you know, just like they can bring it back. Like S.m.a.c.k Volume 10, they can revisit it, you know, as like a specialty, you know. But I don't know. I like it. I'm very curious to see how this whole thing goes. All right.
Well, it looked like JB was in the mix, in the production, and you can tell it has some band quality to it.
Yeah. And how about the gas? Was the gas not as bad, or was it more evened out? Because West Coast seemed like that a lot of people.
Gas wasn't terrible. It was still a little gassy at times, but it wasn't terrible.
I just felt like it was more evened out because it seemed like there was a lot of more West people there this time. Yeah. You know, they had their little section because last time it just didn't seem like it was just all one-sided. Now it just seemed like it was even. Which, listen, I don't want it to be quiet. That's definitely a thing. That's not what I'm asking for. I just don't want it to be one-sided. And I think it was still a little bit one-sided because maybe a lot of the West Coast people weren't there when Danny battled Chef Trez. Because I feel like the only battle that But I don't know because when they were definitely reacting to Danny's second, so I don't even want to say that. But definitely. And there's word out that Beasley before the battle brought this up to everybody that they don't want that situation to happen at Volume 3 to happen here. He definitely made that a thing, and they spoke on it. So that's good for them too. Yeah.